Humanoid robots do not mean every job disappears tomorrow morning. That kind of fear makes good thumbnails, but it does not explain reality. The real change begins more quietly. It begins with tasks, not job titles. A job is not one solid block. It is a bundle of smaller actions. You lift, move, check, wait, decide, explain, repair, document, coordinate, and take responsibility. A humanoid robot is unlikely to swallow that entire bundle at once. It is more likely to touch the parts that are repetitive, predictable, physically tiring, dangerous, or expensive to staff. That is why the question must change. Do not ask only whether a robot will take your job. Ask which parts of your work are easy to describe, repeat, measure, and hand over. If you miss that difference, the future becomes nothing but panic. Humanoid robots look human, but they do not understand the world like humans. That limitation matters. But their human-like shape also matters. It means they may enter spaces already designed around human bodies. Factories, warehouses, hospitals, retail stores, logistics. Sites and service environments were built for people with arms, legs, eyes, and hands. A machine shaped roughly like that can use existing doors, shelves, tools, carts, and workstations more easily than a strange industrial machine that needs the whole floor redesigned. Big Brother will say it plainly. The dangerous person in the robot age is not the one who fears robots. It is the one who cannot break their own work into task units. Robots do not read your job title with respect. They look at motion, cost, risk, repetition, and reliability. If you want to understand the future of work, you need to look the same way. Humanoid robots are more likely to enter boring workplaces before glamorous offices. That is the part people keep missing. Automation is not romance. It is arithmetic. The first targets are often places where work is repetitive. Staffing is difficult. Injuries are expensive, procedures are clear, and fatigue never leaves the room. A warehouse that needs boxes moved all night. A factory line that repeats the same physical motion. A hospital or care facility that needs supplies carried across long corridors. A retail floor that needs shelves checked again and again. These are not science fiction stages. They are practical candidates. And the reason is not that the robot is wiser than the human. The reason is that the task may not require a human to keep suffering through it forever. Industry does not begin by protecting human pride. It begins by reading the cost sheet. Cold, yes, but useful. When a job is physically tiring, repetitive, hard to staff, risky at night, or expensive when accidents happen, the argument for robotic assistance becomes stronger. Now, do not get hypnotized by demo videos. A robot performing one clean task on stage is not the same as a robot surviving daily work in a messy facility. Floors are slippery. Objects are placed badly. People move unpredictably. Safety rules are strict. Maintenance is annoying. Integration costs money. That is why commercial adoption can be much slower than marketing suggests. But slow does not mean impossible. When economics, safety, maintenance, and workflow design start to align, repetitive work changes quietly. The first thing to shake may not be a prestigious title. It may be the work nobody wanted to do for long in the first place. When humanoid robots enter the workplace, human work may not vanish. It may change its shape. The person who once performed the task by hand may become the person who checks the system. The person who once moved directly may become the person who coordinates flow. That may sound easier, but do not get comfortable too quickly. Supervision carries responsibility. When the robot stops, someone must understand why. When the robot makes a risky movement, someone must prevent damage. When the environment changes, someone must decide whether the task should continue, pause, or be redesigned. Robots struggle most with ambiguity. A box is slightly tilted. A customer asks for something unusual. A work order changes in the middle of the process. A safety issue conflicts with speed. A human worker notices that something feels wrong before it becomes a formal error. Those moments require context, not just motion. That is why the value of human labor may move from muscle alone toward judgment, responsibility, coordination, and exception handling. But this shift will not be kind to everyone. A worker who has only been asked to repeat a task may suddenly be asked to understand a system. A person who knows the physical workplace may also need to understand data, alerts, maintenance signals, and workflow design. That is where the gap opens. Some people will use robots as tools. Others will be compared against them. When tools enter a workplace, work may become easier in one sense. But the standard also rises. Big Brother will put it bluntly. The future workplace may not simply use fewer people. It may use fewer unprepared people. A human working beside machines must understand more, not less. To do the human work that machines cannot do, you first need to understand the machines that are arriving. For robots to change work, impressive technology is not enough. The economics must work. This is where people often become childish. They look only at the price of the robot. That is not the real cost. The real cost is wider. Installation, safety equipment, software, maintenance, batteries, replacement parts, training, insurance, downtime response, workflow redesign, and technical support all matter. So the question is not simply whether a robot is cheaper than a human. That question is too flat. The better question is whether the robot reduces total operating cost. Does it stabilize quality? Does it lower accident risk? Does it fill shifts that are hard to staff? Does it collect useful data? Does it improve the next version of the workflow? When the answer becomes convincing, adoption can accelerate. When the answer is vague, the robot looks impressive in a showroom and becomes a burden in the real facility. Technology history is full of this pattern. The demo moves quickly. Adoption moves slowly. The media talks about possibility. The floor manager talks about breakdowns. The investor talks about the future. The operator talks about Monday morning. That is why humanoid robots must be judged by boring questions. How long can they work? How often do they stop? How much human intervention do they require? Who repairs them? Can they pass safety requirements? Can they handle dust, clutter, bad lighting, uneven floors, and unpredictable humans? These are not glamorous questions, but they decide the future. A technology may be introduced on a bright stage, but it survives in a messy workplace. Big Brother will say it cleanly. If a robot cannot survive the boring parts of work, it is not replacing labor. It is creating another job for someone to babysit. So what should you prepare? The answer is not panic. The answer is task awareness. First, divide your work into repetitive tasks and judgment tasks. If something happens in the same order every day, can be written as a procedure, and can be checked quickly after completion, it may become a candidate for automation. Second, build exception handling skill. The more machines perform routine work, the more valuable people become when something unusual happens. Someone must decide what matters first. Someone must know when to stop the process. Someone must understand who needs to be informed, and what risk cannot be ignored. Third, stop seeing robots only as competitors. Understand them as tools. A person who knows what a machine can do and what it cannot do becomes stronger in the workplace. Fourth, do not throw away field knowledge. Automation built by people who do not understand the real floor often becomes expensive theater. The best systems need both technology and practical workplace knowledge. Fifth, strengthen the work that requires human responsibility. Trust, persuasion, ethical judgment, complex coordination, and accountability do not disappear easily. But do not flatter yourself. Those skills do not appear automatically just because you are human. They must be trained. Humanoid robots can become symbols of fear or tools of productivity. The difference depends partly on how prepared people are to redesign work around them. Big Brother will end it plainly. People will not be pushed aside only because robots are smart. Many will be pushed aside because they never understood what their own work was made of. The future question is not whether robots are coming. They are already approaching. The real question is this. After robots enter the workplace, what can you still design, judge, coordinate, and take responsibility for? That is where your value begins.